We all help solve the problems. Well, the most serious problem I think is overpopulation, which has exerted a lot of pressure on employment, infrastructure, and education.
Okay, there you go. All right. So with this question, serious problem, if it asks you about a serious problem, may it be in your hometown, in your city, in your country as a whole, okay, or social problems, one of the most common thing they will mention is the pollution. So it could be pollution of water, air, noise, all of them. It could also be on the part of traffic. Okay, traffic. Okay, all right. Infrastructures, or overpopulation, problem with health, um, employment rate. Okay, so those are security. Okay, security. Okay, so those are some serious problems that you can consider when you are to answer this question. Okay, now these two questions are just the same. Okay, they are very close to each other. Okay, so I will choose number two. Okay, I will choose number two. Okay, so if I will to ask you, Mildred, what are the major social problems in your hometown and how can they be solved? Okay, so how will you answer that question?
Since Ubay is a small town where most of the people are uh, most of the people are unemployed. Okay, okay. One second, Tisha. As Ubay town is since Ubay town is a small town in Bohol where most of the people are unemployed. There's one of ay, one second, teacher. Paano ko yun? Well, the most serious problem I think that that Ubayanos are encountered in my town is are uh, limited services of limited services of internet, bank services, and most of the people, many people are unemployed. The infrastructure was not quite bloom compared to the other province. So so that so major problem needs to be addressed in these areas of in these areas in this place in these areas that needs to be more focused with government, something teach you like that.
Okay, there you go. All right. So for the solution, you want that, okay, it's a government side, right? It's more on the government side. Okay, there. So you've mentioned about
Okay.
the internet, and what's the other one?
Bank
Infrastructure,
teacher. Yeah,
bank
okay,
services.
bank
Okay.
services, unemployment, many people unemployed.
Okay.
Infrastructure is not quite advanced compared to the other province.
Okay. Compared to other province. Okay. In my hometown, okay, is always behind, or we're left behind, right? Yeah, compared to other, we're left behind. Okay. And then you can say for the next question, you can say, I believe. Okay. We should not say I think, but you say I believe. Okay. I believe that, okay. The problems, okay, could be solved, okay, when the government, okay, will take action, right? Will take action, okay, and do the necessary, okay, and do the necessary projects, okay, and programs, okay. Um, what's other term for solve? Okay,
Solve,
solve the
resolve,
problem.
solve,
Programs to,
another
wait,
term of solve,
solve.
fix.
Let's see. Yeah, you were right. To fix. Okay. To fix. Okay, the problem. Okay, there. Where are you? I cannot find. It's here. Okay. Yeah, to fix the problems. Okay, here. All right. So here's your answer. Okay, please read.
Okay. Since Sabay is a small town in the province of Bohol and most people were unemployed and the development in infrastructure were slow, the bank services and internet services were limited compared to the other province. My hometown were left behind. I believe that the problems could be solved when the government will action and do the necessary projects and programs to fix the problems.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, to take actions. That is to take actions. Okay, there. So you were right. Okay. If they will ask you about how to solve the problem in your community, okay, so usually you really need to think of your government and the people. Okay, so it's the people and the government. Okay, all the time. Okay, so they are the only people. They are the only, who can solve these problems, not the animals, not the trees, but the people. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, so that is how you can answer that one. Okay, next. Okay, all right. Now let's go to the next question. Okay, here. Okay, this time it's the customs. Okay, please read.
Please tell me something about a custom in your hometown. Yes, we have a great many customs there. Let me tell you something about the lucky money on New Year's Eve. Unlike the other parts of Vietnam, in my hometown, the unmarried adults as well as children can get the lucky money given by other family members or friends. It is believed that money will bring them good luck in the coming year, New Year.
Okay, when you are to answer about the customs in your hometown, I want you to think of something very unique. Okay, very unique in your hometown. Okay, there. It could be like this one. Yeah, like the usual thing they do. But usually it's only this place or this country who has this. Okay, it will really sound unique when, a foreigner will listen to you. Okay, now let's go to Ubay Bohol. So please tell me something about the customs in your hometown.
Okay. Abay Bohol is belong to Bohol province. So Bohol is very known of his feasts. For the month of May, every barangays and localities in our province have their own feast for the month of May. So most of the tourists or people or relatives from outside the country or even across the Philippines, this place mostly visited because of this tradition that has been given to the patrons in the hometown.
Okay, who's the patron in your hometown?
Actually, teacher, for the Santo Niño teacher, but aside from Santo Niño teacher, for the month of May teacher, that would be the month with continuous feast. Start from May 1 until the end of the month. So we expect that on that month, we have lots of, that place, Bohol, would be lots of visitors Aside from that would be the month for summer, but that would be the month also for most visited by tourists, families, and relatives outside our countries, even across the Philippines, because of this tradition and events.
Okay, there you go. All right, in honor of their patron saint. Yeah.
Yes, not because Santo Niño would be in January, but for the month of May, teacher, it would be lots of saints. Different kind of saints will be honored for these devotees.
Okay. If people will visit your place, okay, aside from the activities, during feast there will be food, right, on the table, and everyone will be invited to eat. You eat and eat.
Mm.
Okay, right? That is how it goes right there.
Mm.
Okay. And on the day.
And these people, teacher, will serve traditional cuisine. So different kind of cuisine that has been served with this Filobayanos or Boholanos, which is very known of their uniqueness of this cooking culinary heritage.
Okay, there you go. So they will not um, enjoy the the unique the unique foods, right? Okay, there. So please read.
Okay. My hometown is known for its feasts starting May to end of the month to the end of the month. Places in my hometown will have their feasts in honor of their patron saint. People will visit our place, and on that day of the feast, there will be lots of food to include traditional cuisine. Visitors can come to houses and eat all they can. They will not just enjoy the unique foods, but also the colorful traditions.
Okay, there you go. All right. And also, since it is just the first part of the um uh IELTS speaking test, if in case this kind of question is asked on the third part, later we'll go to part 3. If in case they will ask you this question on part 3, and then they will ask something about the customs in your hometown, and then you want to focus on the fiesta, on the feast. So you can also include the food, the specific kind of food that the people usually serve during the feast. Okay, there. So you can also do that, and then try to give a little description like it's made from chicken or whatever, and then the taste, or how it is cooked. Okay, so you can do that because in part 3 it's more, deeper, and you really need to discuss the answer, unlike in part 1, it's so, it's so light. Okay, just say it and that's it. Okay, there you go. All right, so that is for the customs. Okay, so remember that one. For the customs of your hometown, always remember the fiesta, okay, the feast and the patrons. Okay, there you go. Next, okay, let's have this one. Please read.
Okay. Can you tell me something about the architecture in your hometown? Yes, we have different architectural styles in my hometown, incorporating traditional and modern styles. In one part of the town, we have very modern architecture, such as high rise or multi story buildings with state of the art facilities. However, in the center of the town, we still keep a lot of the traditional wooden buildings with carved doors and windows and very delicate craftsmanship. These traditional buildings have been renovated very frequently and have become quite an important part of the town culture. In my opinion, Without these traditional buildings, the town will lose its identity, as all the modern buildings look so much alike.
Okay, there you go. This is now for the architecture. Okay, as you can see in this answer, okay, the one who's talking tried to emphasize the different architectural styles in his hometown. Okay, wherein he tried to differentiate the traditional and the modern styles. Okay, and then state of the art facilities. Okay, so high rise or multi story buildings. Okay, this is for the modern architecture. And then for the traditional one, it's more on wood. Okay, there you go. All right. So, and in the end, he was able to give a little of opinion about this statement. Okay, so that is for architecture. Now, for Ubay Bohol. Okay, so if you'll be asked about tell me something about the architecture in your hometown. So what do you want to focus?
Okay. If I will look back from 70s, but most of the architecture in our town, in Ubay, most of the Ubayanos use this kind of old structure, which can be seen in their houses, which is the um, structure made of bamboo. But for the over the years, people adopt a new kind of trend, which is the modern one, where people find new ideas, having this modern infrastructure, modern architectural, which they adapt mostly in Chinese or any kind of modern facilities, teacher, like Chinese styles or Spanish styles hometown, where and also minimalist styles.
Mhm.
So in my opinion, architecture was parang lost their ano teacher, lost their it has been lost with it has been lost with their style due because of this modern concept that has been adapted with people in this new generation, something like that, teacher.
Okay, so in my opinion, okay, the modern, okay, architectural style slowly
Obsolete.
vanish.
Okay.
Is it vanish? Architectural style um slowly okay, vanishing. Okay, vanishing. Okay, vanishing. Okay, with okay the new trends in style. Okay, here you go. And okay, style. Okay, buildings were built. Okay, buildings and houses. Okay, right, buildings and houses. Okay, houses were built. Okay, following. Okay, the modern designs. Okay, there. Yeah, okay, there. So that's your answer. Please read. 1960s, am I right?
Yes, sir. If I look back from 1960s, most of the architectural designs were made from bamboo. Over the years, people adapted the modern style and find new ideas how to build modern buildings designs. In my opinion, the modern architectural style slowly vanishing with the new trends and
It should be
style.
traditional, right? It should
Yeah,
be
tradition.
traditional. Okay. Okay, traditional. Okay.
Architectural design slowly vanishing with new trends and style. Buildings and houses were built following the modern designs.
There, is it good now? Okay, the traditional. Okay, the traditional, modern. Okay, traditional architecture style slowly vanishing with the new trends of still and modern designs. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you also focused, okay, on presenting, okay, the traditional and the modern, okay, cultural designs, okay, and the opinion is only one sentence because it needs to be short. Your answer needs to be short here because it's the part one, okay, in my opinion. Okay, traditional. All right, okay, so as you can see, okay, if you try to notice on the way you answer, that is correct, because in IELTS we should avoid repeating the question itself when you begin your answer. Okay, and I think you are slowly able to follow this rule. Okay, as you noticed, your start, okay, the start of your answers are good. Okay, example here, the question is, can you tell me something about the architecture in your hometown? Okay, so you start with with the by saying, if I will look back from 1960s. Okay, there. So you have your introduction. So always remember to answer that way. Okay, no matter if it's in part one, part two, or part three, always answer this way. Okay, there you go. All right, now let's continue. Okay, let's have the next one. Okay.
How does
Okay.
your
So
hometown compare with? What was the difference in between your hometown and? Well, I like better, prefer as there are more opportunities for jobs, education and entertainment. It's hard to say, both are advantage and disadvantage you see. Okay.
okay. So here, if in case your hometown will be compared to another town, okay, or another city. So for example, if I'll ask you, how does your hometown Bohol, okay, or what's the difference in between your hometown Bohol and Cebu? Okay, so what's the difference between your hometown, Bohol, and Cebu? Okay, so what's the point that you will consider in comparing these two cities?
Okay. Without any bias answered regarding this question, I would like to prefer to emphasize our hometown Ubay, which is more homey, which is more comfortable compared to the city, which is Cebu. If I were compare for the two, my hometown would be more um, peaceful compared to the city, where more opportunities, but um, the more opportunities, but in terms of peace and order is also rampant. Something like the teacher.
Rampant? What do you mean rampant? What's
Rampant,
rampant?
sister, in the sense that increase of a high crime in more in the city like Cebu, teacher, compared to the our hometown, which is more is which is less crime, or even more peaceful.
Mhm. Okay, there you go. So you are trying to look at the crime rate. Okay, the crime
Mm.
rate. Okay. Okay. I am being peaceful. Okay, peaceful place with low crime rate. Okay, so aside from having the crime rate, you say it's peaceful, right? Okay, so peaceful meaning low crime rate. Okay, what else? Um,
um Home for like I mean teacher what good for good for relaxation, teacher, like no, good for relaxation, teacher, because more beaches.
more beaches, right? Okay, place with low. Okay, aside from being a peaceful place with low crime rate, okay. My hometown is also known, okay, for its, okay, beautiful, okay, beautiful and majestic places where people can have lots of choices, okay, where to relax. Okay, there. Okay, so unlike in Cebu, okay, unlike in Cebu, okay, the population of Cebu is bigger, right?
Yes, teacher.
Like in Cebu, okay, per population is bigger, and the traffic there in Cebu is a problem, right? Compared in Bohol,
Yes.
bigger, and that uh, think jam is a problem. Okay, having been to this both because you've been to Cebu also, right? You experience being there. Okay.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Okay. Having been, but um, you lived in Bohol for a long time compared in Cebu, right?
Cebu.
Okay. Definitely. Okay, I can definitely see. Okay. The edge and okay there. Please read.
Without any bias, I can say that Cebuhol is better than Cebu. Aside from being a peaceful place where low crime rates, my hometown is also known for its beautiful and majestic places where people can have lots of choices where to relax. Unlike in Cebu, where population is bigger and the traffic jam is a problem. Having been to this to having been to these both places, I can definitely see the advantage and disadvantage.
Okay, there you go. Because advantages and disadvantages. Okay, there. As you can see, for this one, since you chose Cebu, I mean, since you chose Bohol, when you mention why it's Bohol, so all you place there is the advantage, right? Okay, but since you didn't choose Cebu, so you chose only to say what's the negative about the place. Okay, so we did that because your answer here need to be short. Okay, there. At least, okay, you are giving us a clear picture why you chose Bohol over Cebu. Okay, but if it's in the part three, okay, asking you about your hometown and comparing it to another place, so you can definitely write the advantage and the disadvantage of both places. Okay, and then in the end, you can state that the place you prefer. Okay, there you go. But for this one, it can be like this. Okay, there you go. Next. Okay, now here are the tips, okay, that you need to remember. Okay, you have this book. You can go over later if you forget. Okay. As part of your preparation for IELTS, if you have time, I really suggest you do research as well. And then
Okay.
you can write in a piece of paper, or you can save it in your files in your computer. Okay.
Okay.
This is also what my students did. They did a lot of research and they try really to review on their free time as well. Now, for the topic hometown, all you need to know, okay, to do research about is the location, size, the population, climate, geographical features, natural resources, characteristic of the city or country, places of interest and importance. Okay, there you go. So those are the things you need to do research on. Now, why do we need to do that? Because if you are to state this information, it needs to be factual. Okay, so we cannot create the population of our place, and worst comes to worst, you forgot. You can give an estimate, but at least the estimate is closer. Like, for example, you can say we are close to 500,000. Okay, or to be exact, as of 2022, records from the Philippine Statistics Authority, it says that my city has a population of over 1.2 million people. Okay, so you can state like that. Okay, there. So that's the importance of doing research. Okay, that is for the topic hometown. Okay, next. Okay. Also, okay, the use of the present simple to talk about your hometown, or use the past simple and the past perfect to describe changes. Okay, there you go. So you can do this one. Okay, there. So you can go over. Okay, now, okay, here are the useful words and expressions that you can also use. Okay, so I just want you to read this one. Okay, let's have the first part over here.
Okay. Okay. 100 kilometers northwest of advantage, appealing, pleasant place, birthplace, densely populated, disadvantage, economic, cultural and political center, heavily polluted, heavy light industries, hometown.
Okay, so aside from the word hometown, you can also use the word birthplace. Okay,
Hmm.
so you can say I prefer, okay, I still prefer to live in my hometown rather than to live in other places in the Philippines. You know, my birthplace is one, okay, of the most famous, okay, cities, okay, in Asia Pacific. Okay, okay, that's an example there. So at least you will not be repeating the word Bohol
Hometown.
by Bohol hometown many times. At least you have another word to use, which is birthplace. Okay, there you go. Next, this one, appealing, pleasant. You can use those adjectives to describe a beautiful place, attractive, captivating, okay, very relaxing. Okay, there you go. So those are the words that you can use. Okay, next, we also have this one. Please read.
International trade in the vicinity, neighborhood of landscape, local people.
Okay, there. So instead of saying the people around me, you can also say the vicinity, the residents, my neighborhood, my neighbors. Okay, there. So you can use those synonyms, okay, for that one. Okay, now we also have, okay, the last here. Okay, can you
Okay.
please read?
Main crop, main tourist attractions, medium-sized city, natural resources, scenery, sparsely populated, to be adjacent to be brought up, to be famous for, to be located, situated in.
Okay, there you go. So to be brought up, to be adjacent to scenery. Okay, the beautiful scenery in my hometown is very captivating that whenever you visit it, you will surely miss it once you already left the place. Okay, there, that's scenery. The view. Okay, scenery, the view, the place. Okay,
Mm.
so those are the words. Okay, and okay, the last one, this one, please read.
To be rich in natural resources, mineral deposits, to be well known for, to grow up within walking distance.
Okay, there you go. So you can say the market is within a distance, okay, from my house. You can reach that. You can reach the market in 15 minutes. Okay, if you walk, okay, from our house, okay, there you go. All right. Okay. Okay, here. So, okay, this is like the okay, here. Okay, so this is like okay, here. Okay, so you can go over this one too. Okay, these are the common things that they will ask you. Okay, okay, let's have this one because they say that some examiner will ask you this one, the name. I don't know why because they are very curious sometimes, depending on who is the examiner. So you really need to prepare also. This is for the introduction, like hi, then you will say, hello, it's so nice to meet you. Okay. And then examiner say, please take a seat. Okay, what is your name? And you will say, my name is Mildred Blaso. I'm okay, your age, and then I'm from Qatar, but actually, okay, I came from Philippines. I'm a Filipina. Okay, for example, you say like that, and then your introduction will go on. The examiner will talk to you, and then later on, even if it's still introduction, the examiner will already ask you something that where it requires you to, talk a lot. Okay. And they say that some examiners will ask you like, so your name is Mildred. Okay. Mildred. Okay. So example, what is your full name? You will say Mildred Blaso. So how do I pronounce your name? Mildred, right? Then you will say yes, Mildred. And then next, the examiner will ask you, does your name have any special meaning? Okay, so be prepared for this one. How will you answer? Does your name, Mildred, have a special meaning?
Um, as far as I know, there is no meaning, but I do believe this Mildred name is derived from the old English name, which is mild, which is gentle.
Okay, which means mild and
Yes,
gentle.
or
Oh,
kind.
okay.
And
And who named
then,
you?
huh, teacher?
Yeah, who gave you the name? Is it your mom, your dad, or your grandparents?
Actually, this teacher is unusual name at the time. It's unusual in the sense that um, no Mildred around. I knew Mildred. I've heard in my place, Bohol, but
Mhm.
I do believe this name came from my parents due to this lack of names. All of us siblings we are 7 or 8 in the families, but all of us started with letter M.
Okay.
So by lack of term, probably my parents is miss this name started with M. Mm,
um, I think that is really like, common for Filipinos before because in my
yes,
place, people who has this, many children in a family, if you notice all of their names, they all start in the same letter. Yeah.
yes,
Okay. I think it's really, already like a tradition, tradition, or, a behavior in our country. Okay, there. So you can start by saying like this. You can say, okay, my name, okay, Mildred, okay, came from an old English name,
mm,
okay, which means
gentle,
mild
gentle or kind,
or gentle and kind. Gentle and
gentle and
kind.
kind.
Okay. Gentle and kind. Okay. Gentle and kind. Okay. Yeah. Gentle and kind. Okay. Honestly, um, all my, how many siblings do you have? Eight?
7.
Okay. All my seven siblings. Okay. Also, okay, have names that starts with letter M. I think my parents planned for this so that all of their children will have a name that starts with M. Okay, there you go. All right, so you can mention these two important points in your name. Okay, please read.
Okay. My name Mildred came from an old English name which means gentle and kind. Honestly, all my seven siblings also have names that starts with letter M. I think my parents planned for this so that all of their children will have a name that starts with M.
Okay, there you go. So you can just think of that one. This is just in preparation. Okay, so just remember. Okay, they might also ask you about your name. Okay, even the videos I saw, there are examiners, I think, too. They also ask about the name.
Mm.
They are really curious about it. Okay. Especially if your name is very unique. Okay. They will really ask you. Okay. This is just in preparation. Okay. Next. This literal translation or meaning of your name, it depends, I think, for Philippines, because that is a Filipina name. I think no more translation for that one. But if it's a Vietnamese name, there is a translation.
Mm.
Um, Vietnamese names, they didn't think about it, but they consider the things around them. Like, for example, some Chinese women in Chinese, Vietnamese women, they have the name Lan. Lan, if you translate that into English, it means orchid.
Mm.
Okay, there you go. Next, some men or some Vietnamese woman, they have the name Truk.
Truth.
Yeah, Truk. That means bamboo.
Oh.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay, what else? Yeah. There is another one. Is that Nguyen? I think that's Nguyen. It means lake. I think, yeah. I cannot remember because all my students, I really ask them, yeah, what's the translation of your name? And they will tell you the English of it. Okay. Okay, there you go. So sometimes, so parents will get their names from flowers, from trees, from rocks, from the lake, okay, from things around them. Okay, there. And they say if whatever names your parents will give you, it will also reflect you. So if your name came from the word bamboo, so expect that you're also flexible and strong, just like the bamboo.
How true is that, teacher?
I don't know. But the girl who had that, she says she's really, really strong. Just strong in a sense, she's really brave. Okay, there you go. So that's for okay, names. Okay, now, if in case they will ask you, traditionally, are there any rules for choosing a child's name in Philippines? Okay. Yeah, for Philippines, do you think in your time there is a traditional way to choose names? None.
Most of the okay, teacher. Some teacher of the some generations or some grandparents use these rules in referring to the you know previous generation or the lolos and lolas. So I do believe it depends upon the clan.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, some clan they will use the third, something like that, teacher, in
You were right.
referring to their grandparents.
Mm, you were right. Some they will combine the grandparents' name.
Yes.
Okay, like Maria Lolita, Maria and Lolita.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there. Juan Pedro, Juan and Pedro. So the child name is Juan and Pedro. Okay, there. So sometimes they will get right from their, grandparents and they will place it
Grandparents.
in the child. Yeah, my mom told me before during my grandmother's time, they say they will get it from the al is that almanac? I forgot that. There is this there is this book I really forgot. Um we get that tradition from the Spaniards, that whenever a child is born, when they will be brought to the church for baptism, the 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 priest will ask the parents to choose from that book. So during my mother, it should be like Lucia. Okay, and then there later on when they my mother brought the name Lucibel. Okay, but it needs to be Lucia because on that book it should be like Lucia. Okay, there you go. So they really follow. Okay, that is from the old. But you were right. I think it depends on the clan. Okay, maybe for Bohol, so maybe the people there will, consider the names of the relatives or the names of the siblings as well. Okay, so you can
Yes.
mention that one. You can say in Bohol, usually the parents will consider the names of their family members to get the idea for the baby's name. Okay, so you can simply say like that. Okay, next. Mhm. Okay. Were you able to ask this from your parents? Like, what were your parents' hopes and wishes for you when they gave you this name? Okay. In other culture, when parents choose a name for their children, of course, it has meaning, right? If the
Yes.
meaning means clever and lucky, okay, especially for Chinese. Okay, it really has meaning. Example, it's money and luck. So the parents hopes that their child will have lots of luck and money in the future. Okay, how
Mm.
about for your hometown? Do you have like this?
Mm. w- Most of the people in the my hometown teachers do not practice this kind of belief.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly they derive it from their um, grandparents and then from their ninunos and forefathers,
Okay,
foreparents.
so when they give the name of the baby, okay, maybe they will just hope. Okay, so just to be safe, you can say parents in my birthplace, okay, um do the okay normal things that mother and father do. They will wish for the best and hope that the child, okay, will have a good future. Okay, there you go. This is the safest place because we don't have the tradition. Okay, please read.
Parents in my birthplace do the normal things that a mother and father do. They will wish for the best and hope that the child will have a good future.
Okay, there you go. I think that's what mother and father will always do, okay, to their children. Okay, so no matter what name, but your wish and hope for your children, okay, for them to have a better life will never, okay, vanish. It will always be there. Okay, there you go. So that's a preparation in case they will ask you. Okay, there you go. In case they will ask you, okay, because they are very curious about your name, Mildred. Okay, so just remember that one. Later, if we will have the practice, okay, because we will also have a practice. I will try to ask you, okay, again about your name before starting the questions, and we'll see, okay, how you will do that. Okay, next. All right. So later, okay, we will also go on into another topic. Okay, there. But before that, okay, because I want to give you like a sample, okay, of part two. Okay, part two for hometown topic. Okay, let me get it from here. Yeah. I really create the test last time for one of my student who is working as a CEO in Vietnam. He's 42 years old and he often forgets everything. Okay. So this is what part 2 looks like. Okay, let me ask you. Let me send it to you on Skype. Okay,
Okay.
here. For the part 2, there is a card. Okay, there is a card. Okay, example, the topic is hometown. There are four cards, but
Mm,
all cards are all about hometown. It is just that the presentation or the question is different. Okay, for
mm,
example, okay, Mildred, please choose your card and then you will get. Okay, and then you will give it back to the examiner and then he will read to you. Okay, and then later you can also have a copy. Some examiners, they also show you a copy. Okay, so this is how it looks like, Mildred. Okay. Okay, that is how it looks like inside the card. It will tell
mm,
you, it will ask, describe your hometown. You should say, okay, so in your discussion, you should say where it is located. Okay, what people do there? Okay, what's the living? Okay, what's the usual activity? What the climate is like, and explain how you feel about your hometown. Okay, so meaning in your when you say part two, this is a 2 minute. Okay, this is a 2 minute discussion. Okay, so we will give a timer. Okay, there's a timer. Okay, after the examiner reads to you the questions, the examiner will give you 1 minute to prepare. Okay, I suggest you have a paper there and then all the keywords that you want to talk about in that 2 minutes you write. Okay, because remember, only 1 minute preparation. And then when the examiner says, okay, Mildred, time is up, your 1 minute is done. Now let's start with the 2 minute discussion. Your time starts now. Okay, the moment the examiner says that, so you start talking. Okay, so you have the introduction. Okay, and be sure to mention all those, okay, the answer to those questions there in your 2 minute, okay, discussion. Okay, so you have time to prepare, okay, until tomorrow because we will have class tomorrow, right, at 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I want you to look at that one and try to plan on what you will talk about in 2 minutes tomorrow. Okay, there
mm.
you go.
Teacher,
And this,
this
yeah,
one, teacher, I need your technique, teacher, how to roadmap my mind on this.
yeah, okay, there you go. All right. Okay, so I hope there is, okay, did I include here? Oh, okay, there. So I will send you, okay, I will send you this one. Okay, there. Yeah, I will send you an example, okay, after this class. Okay, and try to look, okay, how the answer, okay, and then you plan for yourself too. Okay, there. So that's our activity for tomorrow. All right. Okay, so
Okay,
I will
teacher.
send you an example. Okay, Mildred. So thank you so
Okay.
much for
Thank
today.
you,
See you
teacher, for
tomorrow.
your time.
Okay,
And have a nice
bye-bye.
day. Enjoy your day.
Okay.
Thank you.